It's Carolina South. Carolina South. Every day is purple and orange, maroon and white. Tigers at day, cougars at night. It's Carolina South. Carolina South. Carolina South. Carolina South. She talking that bulldog, she cocky and fat. Gone in it blue, gone in it black. It's Carolina South. Carolina South. Carolina South. Carolina South.
Good afternoon, everyone. Appreciate being here today with Atomic Dolls as they bring togetherness to and unity to our community and try to stamp out crime and against violence. So we appreciate their efforts and their event today, and hopefully people come out and support them as they try to make a statement with stamping out violence. Thank you.
We don't know how to, we do know that, but if we trying to get it going, something start, we trying to put something in people's mind and stuff like that. So maybe one of the parents, maybe the teachers, somebody, a parent, or maybe the town, the church, somebody else will pick it up and take it to different level. Not pick it up, but we gonna be here to support.
I got that. I guess what I'm asking for today, when people leave this meeting today,
they will know something. Yeah.
Right.
when the next meeting, are you gonna say, hey guys, this is what we want to do? Who would like to be a part of this and stuff? I'm just asking.
When the next meeting comes, we'll put it out the letter. The next meeting will be in a different town.
But
That's my problem, right?
No. Listen. We are not we are our people in our community, in our club, right? Are from the CSRA. So what we're doing, right? It's not a Blackville thing. It's
But right now, let's make it personal because you here today. You understand what I'm saying?
All right, hold on. Let me take
No, let me say right there. And if you read what I put on the thing, right, it's not just it's for all the community, surrounding community, right? That's what it's all about. Now, we're not gonna be just Black because I can't just say, okay, I took it up today to start this in Black because I said I'm gonna be the lead. That's the lead. I'm gonna be the lead, right? That's what we did right now, right? I understand what you're saying, right? But we're not in an organization like that. We're just trying to help and put back.
And it ain't about how can we get the community right now for y'all leave? Say, I like what you're doing. I like that you all came here. I like this, and I know you guys are gonna be going to other communities. But how can we from this day forward? You understand what I'm saying?
And it may take it up to the next level. We started, you take it up, we
And
hit support.
No, but listen, hold up.
You kind of on my, you understand? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, and the thing is, when they need us, if they need us next week, let Bubba know, and we'll try to organize and get you. If anybody has any problem, if a parent has a problem with a student and they need to talk to Atomic Dog, we are available.
Yeah.
We are available.
I guess you're missing what I'm saying.
No,
I hear you.
I understand because you don't want us to get it started and then
and not
disappear.
even that, but not disappear. But how can we get the community members to buy in? That listen to what I'm saying. That they come here today and they're like, you know, we do need it. This is the problem. You guys are our backbone. This is the word I'm gonna use because y'all ain't gonna be hands on all the time. So we telling the community we want to help you help get your community back, okay? Because y'all just a backbone motorcycle club. That when I say backbone, when I speak of backbone organization, you guys are the one that help get the work done, but you kind of hands off because you want the community to roll it with their own themselves, okay? So, looking at that, I'm asking, what if people come here and say, well, I like the idea, how can we do this? Knowing y'all can't be here to every meeting. How do we, from this day forward, we got some real people who really want to be engaged. You all be in the backbone motorcycle club, and they want to start having meetings and want to do it. What are you guys going to do to help?
We're going to come in. We're going to
sit down and attend
the meetings and try to get organized with it.
You understand what I'm asking?
Yeah, sometimes.
And I ain't trying. Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Sometimes the support is going to be financial because we have other obligations. Sometimes it's going to be we can be hands-on to do what we do. And sometimes we just have to make anything that they need us to do it, make donations and stuff like that. Sometimes we might come speak at the thing.
So let me just say,
it goes.
I hear you.
But let me finish. Right? It goes. Right. We're not just. I'm from Blackville and I live in Blackville and I love Blackville. But I'm a part of an organization that's in Aiken that we have everybody from Bamberg, Aiken, Edgefield County, Lexington, right? So what we're trying to do, we're trying to help all our brothers out, all our communities.
Listen, all our people look like us.
Yeah.
I got
That's,
you.
that's, and that's how come it's not.
I understand. And I promise you, Terrence, why is you feeling it? I promise you.
know what project we got to
I,
work on.
I promise you, I see what you're saying. I just want y'all to look at it from the lens of the community.
Yeah.
I am a community member, so I'm probably going to be the one to aggravate y'all to this meeting. I don't even know.
That's
No,
the
I don't mean aggravate in a bad
ask
way.
questions.
But
Yeah.
the thing, right, but that would be a good thing to that point because now we know that the community wants to be involved in what
Yeah.
we're trying to
So
do.
and so, how do we leave here today and say, you guys, if you all want to have a done, what would you do if you had to meet by yourself? I mean, because there's sometimes you ain't go. How do we pull this together and get this going within the community? 'Cause that's what y'all are trying to do, right?
We're hoping that somebody from the community that would take this thing to a different level, to a next level. And every community that we goes to, right, we want somebody to step up in that community and say, okay, I'm taking this to the next level. We are here to help them. Anytime they need our service, we are there to help them go to that next level, to do what they need to do. Because if we don't give back to our own community, who's gonna do it?
And we definitely.
Who's gonna do it? It's
All right,
like,
but
we
you know,
got,
this is what I do for a living,
who's
with my
gonna do it?
job,
It's
but
like,
I'm just
who's
saying.
gonna- this is the thing, right?
See the leader right there.
When stuff happen like way off, when the news camera, we want to ride and be with the news camera. We don't need a news camera up here, right? Because it ain't about the Atomic Dog. It's about the love that we have for our younger generation to help them and stuff like that. Because during our time, we got into certain things with people, right? Me and Coach get into a disagreement, right? We might fight, he wins some, I lose some. We friends. These days, these kids get into it, they're killing one
Going
another.
back to killing.
But we got to show, we got to show them the love, and we got to show them the same. We was that way growing up. We just didn't kill one another. We was that same
But
way.
the thing is, back then, you know, hey, if I go get in a fight with him and older person was there, they go cut my butt, cut his butt, and then call his parents. We go home and get a butt cut. You cut somebody's butt now, they're going home to tell their parents, then their parents coming up wanting to shoot you and fight you. That's a big difference. That's what they called back then a village raising your kid. Yeah, so we there. So we there. So that's what we need to get here. We need the parents to get involved. That's why we want the parents to come here today, because it's not just about those kids. Those kids are going back home to their parents. If they're not getting it from home, then where they getting it from? They're getting it from the street.
Did you
And
talk
they
to
go-
Brandon?
Huh?
Brandon, yeah.
I don't know whether Alan and talked to, they put the thing out to him. I don't know whether they announced at the game last night or not. But this is the thing right here, right? We are not here to judge anyone.
Oh no, I wasn't even
No,
on
I
that.
ain't talking about, I'm talking that way up in the pen. We're not here to judge, we're just here to help. And we're here to show these kids that with hard work and the choices that you make, the things that you can have in life and stuff like that, the choices that you make.
Okay.
When you get to this point in the road at a certain age, certain things I have now, I have this decision I made when I was 18 years old. It pays off later on in life. Sometimes we can't see the forest for the trees, the beauty of the forest for the trees. Sometimes you have to step in the forest to see the beauty of it. So like, and that's right now.
And so,
These
wait.
kids, let me say, they can't see past tomorrow. They can't see past tomorrow. But they got to realize this box right here of the CSRA is more to it. You got to tell the kids, there's nothing wrong. College ain't for everybody.
That part.
The
I got it.
military ain't for everybody. Technical school, some people gonna get out of school and go straight to the job for it. Some people gonna get out of school and walk the streets for a year or two, but get it together.
Until they find
Some people
themselves.
some people need to go in the military for instruction and see the world. The best
And
decision,
I
hold on a
think-
minute. The best decision I made when I got out of school, right? When I joined the military. That was the best decision I made because it gave me a better view of the world. It gave me a better view of just not just Blackville. It gave me a better view
It's
of
just
the
a
world.
big world out here.
Big
And
world.
that's something
And we all might
So
be
put
different.
a pause. Let's put a pause right there. And the only reason I called Brandon in, Brandon has an organization, Save the Children's Working With, which would have been great for him to come and maybe his organization could take and we can, because we working with him and start working with the community in that area. He was a little, he kind of went a little dormant because he didn't have the help and he didn't know how to do it. Does that make sense? So it's the I Am Isaac Foundation, kind of doing the same thing you guys are doing. That's why we picked Save when they were like, I don't need that. I got somebody right here who want to help this community. And so I wish I didn't even get a chance to talk to him because that's why I asked you to get BI. because we may could potentially use his organization and bring people in. Because he's a young brother here from here, been through it, who's helping, and you all can be still be that backbone structure we're talking about. Does that make sense?
I'll talk with him. I'll get with Brandon. I'll talk with Brandon about it and stuff like that. If he come today, I don't know what the rest of the game.
Yeah, that's my cousin. I got him on speed dial right now. But I'm just saying that was coming from that perspective. Like I like what y'all doing. I like the fact that you all, and I call it the backbone organization because we don't want to get stuck in one place. But we want to.
No, you call us the Tommy Dog. That's what you call us.
Well, in the real world, the backbone.
We're still the Tommy Dog.
Yeah.
It's
It's
all
okay.
about
My son is a mega. He
Oh,
can
God. Hey,
It's all about the dog.
I had to bark and say,
Oh,
Blue
we
Flame.
hung out with them guys in Atlanta. Oh, we had a good time.
My son, Brandon, yeah, my son is a mega. So,
Okay, cool. Are you agree?
yeah.
Every time and stuff like, I'm not a believer in Black Lives Matter. I'm not a believer. I'm like, all lives matter. All lives matter because it just can't matter when somebody of another race or the police kills me. It got to matter all the time. All the time, fellas, ladies, all the time. And if we don't take back our streets and our community, who will? We are here to help you. We are here to take you to that next level. Like, to see that more is better way. And I'm gonna be quiet. I can go on. I'm gonna have Bamberg. Chief Bamberg talking. He used to be the former chief of police here in Blackville, and I felt like he was a good person to come out and talk. I got him. I got Officer Howes, Detective Sean Howes. He was a graduate from Blackville here to hide. And I got my nephew, Officer Larry Johnson, and stuff to come out here and talk to you also.
Good afternoon, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name's Kenny Bamberg, and even though I consider Bamberg as my home, Blackville has always been a special place to me. When I got out of the military in 1993, this is where I began my law enforcement career as a civilian in South Carolina. So Blackville has always been a special place in my heart. When Mr. Johnson gave me a call and he asked me about participating in this program, I was excited. I told him, I said, yeah, I had some other plans, but I'll adjust my schedule around to make sure that I can attend here. So I'm going to be brief. To the Atomic Dogs, thank you all so very much for everything that you do and for putting this on. It is definitely something that's worthwhile and needed in the community. Not just here in the city of Blackville, but throughout all the cities and all the counties that are adjacent to each other. To the officers that are here, thank you guys so much for showing up and representing. To everybody that came out, to every parent, especially to my young folks that I see out here in the audience. We are losing our people, our young people, at a disproportionate rate to the streets. Our young people is sad when they can't anticipate reaching 18 years of age, 21 years of age, or they can't even imagine or think about growing up to get married, to raise a family, to go off to college, right? So somewhere along the line, we all have to step up and accept some responsibility in this. One of the biggest things that I found from talking to young folks is why they deviate and do the things they do is because that there is a lack of respect from that child to that parent or parents in that home. And once that child loses that respect for that parent, it's going to be hard to get that back. And those are some of the things that the kids say. They say, well, you know, if mom or daddy didn't cuss me and call me everything but a child of God, you know, when I'm 13, 14, you know, a little kid, you know, or younger than that, you know, they just want to be loved. That's all they want. So they're going to go to where they feel that they get somebody that's going to open their arms and welcome them in, right? So if they're not going to get it at home, where do you think they're going to go to get it? Out here on the streets, right? I mean, most of the time, these young kids, man, all they need is just somebody to show them that they really care about them, that they love them. Even when they're out there doing stupid things, making bad decisions, that's all a part of growing up. But the adults, we need to step up our game, right? And we need to take control of our kids. We need to raise our kids ourselves and not depend on other people to do it. Because if we don't step up and start taking care of our own kids, the system is going to take care of it. I work up at the solicitor's office now, and when I look at the number of cases, people that are getting arrested, that are getting charged, it is a lot of our young people, right? So for those of you young guys, my young brothers and young sisters that I see out here, I applaud you all for coming here, because I know that there are probably other things that you'd be wanting to do on a Saturday. But I give you much love and much respect for coming up here and wanting to try to make a difference. You know, I think somebody help me. What was the theme of the day? What was the theme? If not, help me with that. What was it? If not me, if not, somebody help me with that. What was the theme? If not me, then who? Very, very appropriate. And that's something that I would challenge each of you to ask yourself. If not you, then who? There's no one better. We've got to start some way. This is the great beginning, right? Kids, I shouldn't say kids. Yeah, a lot of people say, but you know, young men, young women. You know, be mindful of your parent or parents that you got. Be mindful of your elders, right? Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Yes, sir. No, sir. Those words will get you farther in life than anything. Just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. And to us older folks, right, let's be mindful that they're children. And we can't talk to our children like we talk to an adult, right? We can't talk to our kids and treat our kids like we treat adults, right? Respect is a two-way street. And once that child starts to lose that respect for that parent, you know, we can stop and take a minute and evaluate ourselves as parents and say, okay, well, what are we doing? What are we doing that is not really good and productive that I'm exposing my child and children to? You know, and we can stop and examine that. But kids, you have to accept responsibility for your actions. Someone said that trouble is the easiest thing in the world to get into, and it's the hardest thing in the world to get out of. We sit back and we look at all the people that have made mistakes when they were 17 or 18 years of age, and because of that one mistake, they're blacklisted for the rest of their life. They're handicapped. We are already starting out 1 or 2 steps behind. So there's no need for us to keep further in that distance that we start behind, right? So it's time for us to go out and just learn to respect each other, learn to love each other, you know, and just, you know, treat everybody the way that you want to be treated. Just be mindful, be respectful. I thank you all for coming out. I appreciate you for the invitation. And if not you, then who? Thank you all so very much.
Mr. Bamberg, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing, brother?
Wagwan. Everything having?
Parents what to do, and the parents come out and say, well, I don't know what to do with them. I can't control my own kids. And that's a crying shame. But it has to start when you're young. It has to start when you're young. And I'm so glad to see a lot of the athletes out here. You guys get your grades. Get your grades. Just don't play high school football and then come back walking the streets. Well, I was a star in high school. Why didn't you go on? Because I didn't pay attention in class. Because I want to be a class clown. Handle your business. Education is very important also. Very important also. I thank you guys so much for being here today. Parents, thank you so much for bringing your kids. Kids, please do your part. Be a kid. Don't try to be an adult before it's your time. You know, back in the days, hey, we had a problem, hey, we would duke it out and it's over with. But now everything is ending up with somebody shooting somebody. With somebody shooting somebody. And to me, that just don't make sense. I've been here for 60 years. And hey, it hadn't all been, it hadn't been perfect. You know, I've screwed up a couple times in life too, but God has blessed me so I can still be standing here today. If I tell you what I'm dealing with right now, you wouldn't understand. You wouldn't understand, but God is good. God is good. But kids, please respect your parents. respect your teachers. Okay. Thank you so much for allowing me to speak. Thank you for being here, Chief. Thank you so much, okay?
Okay, at this time I'm going to turn it over to my nephew, Officer Johnson, Larry, and Sean. These two guys here graduated from Blackville here to high school, and see what service they did. They decided to be in law enforcement to help their community and stuff like that. And I give these guys a lot of credit because they are trying to do what's right by the community and showing the positive thing and stuff like that. They ain't always been perfect. I mean, I know Larry, he's my nephew. I grew up, he was a bad little fella. Who knew how he turned out today? I'm sure Sean was bad too, but look what they turned out to be. It's all about what you want out of life, kids.
Good afternoon. Like Mr. Dunbar said, I'm Sergeant Johnson with the Sheriff's Office here in Marlboro County. This is Sergeant Detective Hines with Marlboro City. We both graduated from Blackville in 2010. Both played football and basketball. And then we went on and went to Claflin University. We both graduated from Claflin University with our bachelor's degree in criminal justice. And then we ventured out and eventually got in law enforcement. So, first off, I would like to say that we as a community has got our priorities mixed up. And I say that because an event like this, where a great group such as these guys come and put an event like this together, I honestly believe that it should have been flooded. Like, it should have been a boatload of people out here. But, like Mr. Dunbar said earlier, if we can touch one, that's plenty. So, with that being said, kids, be mindful of the company that you keep. All right? So, if you're going somewhere with your friends in a car, and you know that one of them has a gun in that car, don't get in that car. For the simple fact that if you get stopped by one of us or one of our co-workers or something like that, and we search that car and there's a gun in the car, of course your friend's not going to say it's theirs. So then everybody got to go. And now, you had a promising career, and now it's all interrupted because of one stupid event by you getting in that car. All right, so that's the most important thing. Be mindful of the company that you keep.
How everybody doing this afternoon? I want to thank the Atomic Dogs for putting this together. I think this is a great event. I want to thank everybody who came out, supporting this, because this is very important. The youth, they do need to hear this. A lot of the parents that showed up as well. When it comes to violence, it goes back to, as a youth, kids. Officer Dunbar was saying, every kid wants to be loved, and they want to be loved by their parents as well. So it starts in the home. You gotta always, making sure we're knowing what our kids are up to. But of course, when they're not in the home, we don't know what they're doing. We only just trusting that, they're doing what they're supposed to do because of what we have instilled in them and taught them what to do. But we all know every child isn't perfect. We wasn't perfect. We got in trouble too, but look at us now. We knew what we wanted out of life. We knew violence wasn't the path that we wanted to go down. I can't honestly say ever since we was younger, law enforcement, that's something we wanted to do. So, it's okay to cut up in school, have fun with your friends, do all that, but when it comes to the work, you gotta make sure you do your work too. You play sports. I see some on the football team here. That's great. Y'all boys keep doing what y'all doing, making sure that y'all get y'all grades as well. Everybody out here is only one mistake away from getting in trouble. You never know. It just happens just that fast. But as you matriculating through high school, your career and college and all that, just be mindful of the things you do, because you can easily get hemmed up in a situation, and you probably could be innocent, but you're just there. So when you hear somebody talking about violence, they want to do something, get away from it. But also remember, we're hurting ourselves. Like this whole year alone, that I can say, just working in the area where deaths that we've been getting, it's just been nothing but the youth. 18 years old, 21 years old, 20 years old, they all young. And it's all because of gun violence. Or something that they just little petty stuff that they're getting into it over, but instead of talking about it, they want to end somebody else's life. Now you gotta have that pain and grief on somebody else's family. So like I said, it starts in the home as a youth. You know, we need parents involved, we need the community involved. So when stuff happens, that's why I'm so big on, we need to bridge that gap with law enforcement and the community. The community got to be able to trust us as well, as much as we can trust them. Because we don't know firsthand what happens when someone gets killed or get hurt. We all know how it goes, street talk. Everybody on the street knows what goes on, but because of the relationship and the things with law enforcement, people don't trust law enforcement, so they don't want to talk to us. That's why it's important that we do stuff like this, let them know we're here for the kids and the youth. Y'all can come talk to us. But until we can go in that direction, I mean, this is just what we're going to be dealing with. We're going to have to keep having events like this to let the people know that we care. We're going to keep doing our part as well. So it takes all of us as a whole, start from the home on up, with the community, doing stuff like this. So we all can get on the same page, and I probably will have better results.
And lastly, honestly, lately, we've been running into a lot of situations where a lot of young adults or teenagers have been getting in trouble due to the fact of their lack of knowledge of the law, right? So, if you have any questions as far as the law or laws on how anything is worked, like as far as riding in the car with a weapon or anything like that, just give us a call. Just call me your house or Mr. Bamberg, and we'll give you knowledge on that, all right? Because I'd rather help you than hurt you. So if you got any questions or anything like that, just give us a call, and we'll point you in the right direction. We want to thank the Atomic Dog for having us.
At this time, like I said, I want to thank Chief Bamberg for coming. He's the newly elected chief of police, chief of Bamberg County. So y'all give him a hand for becoming the chief of Bamberg County, stuff like that. Thank Officer Howes and Officer Johnson for coming out, taking the time out, and all of them took the time out of their business schedule to come because they came because they do what? They care about the community. And like I'm picking back off something that they all said, like Officer Johnson said, the streets know everything that's happening around here. Know how come I know? I was one of you kids one day. We know everything was going on. See, if you get a better relationship with the police, you can come tell them these guys, they are not your enemy. They are here to help. Their job is to protect and what? Serve. They're here to help and stuff like that, you know, so we got to start saving one another, helping one another and stuff like that. Every life that we lose is one too many. And today, every life that we save, if we don't touch but one person today, but hopefully we touch everybody that's here today, that they receive something from what they heard so far. So at this time, right quick, y'all have any questions that y'all want to ask the officers before they have to leave? Don't be scared. Don't ask. Anybody they want to say? Me, sir.
Fellas, everybody, Ahmad, DJ, rest of y'all. I'm going to tell y'all something that seriously happened to me. As a lot of people know, I've been working in this community for a long time. I done been a part of those labels that everybody talked about, you know, doing all the wrong things, everything else. But some years ago, one of my classmates, something happened with her. And I ended up being the godfather of her son. This little dude been with me everywhere. When I say everywhere, I mean everywhere. We did a lot of stuff together. And last week, I got a call
that my boy is dead. I mean, I think this is the first time I almost cried. Yesterday I went to his funeral. I was looking at my boy. We just talked the Sunday before last. He was like, Dad, we got to get together and do something. I'm like, word, let's do it. He said, I work this week, but we'll talk about next week. So I said, okay, cool. Then I gave him some follow advice. I said, son, don't sit in front of Walmart while you working with your vest on your cell phone. And you know what they said? All right, Dad, thanks. Now, I am not his biological father, but I was there. Anytime he needed me, he called, I was there. I talked to him about a lot of stuff. One of the things now, I'm going to say this. I did teach at Blackville middle school, elementary middle school. One of my rules was, if you don't say yes, sir, no, sir, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. If you don't do what you're supposed to do, 10 push-ups, 10 sit-ups. Now, I ain't did that just for the kids here. I did that to all my kids. When I was in Bone, same thing. Come to Blackville, same thing. It was a problem here in Blackville, though. But my godsons, both of them would tell you, they say yes, sir, no, sir, to this day. I try to treat them and teach them respect, because that's something we all want. That's something we all need. But yesterday, seeing him, my boy laying in that casket, going in the ground, that was something totally different there. I mean, it was an eye opener. I done seen several of my friends come and go. Several of them died. But it was different when it was somebody that you helped raise. Somebody you were there for. That's totally different. And Lord knows, I look at all my boys. I mean, even though I ain't at school no more, I still call them my boys. I look at all of them, and I want nothing but the best for them. But we as parents, we got to stand up. We got to come together. You see a child doing wrong, talk to him. And as a parent, if that child go back and tell his mom, y'all should be able to talk. Not no argue for us. Don't put your hands on my baby. Don't tell my baby this. No. Your baby was doing wrong? All right, cool. Let's talk about this so I can get on my baby. Because today, I ain't got my son. I just wish somebody would have did that, but I ain't got my boy now. But that's all I want to say.
Any of you young folks, you have any questions? I know y'all got something y'all want to ask, something that y'all want to know.
I got one.
My question is, if you know somebody that knows something, probably did something bad, but you that they the person that actually did it, or was with them that did it, what should you do? Should you can't just go somebody off a myth or will, or how you go about doing that?
You want to know, y'all heard the question? Like say if somebody knows something, if somebody did something wrong and then with them, how they supposed to go about informing y'all about that? And I think what he want to say is how can he inform y'all and keep his identity?
Typically, hello? Okay. If anyone in the community, if you ever have any information about anything that went on and you wish to remain anonymous, this is one of the just to reiterate what Johnson said, it's about having the trust, the community, having trust in their law enforcement, right? Law enforcement bridging that gap with the community so that if you know anything, you can call anybody in law enforcement in that area, or at least an officer. If there's one officer, even if there's just one officer on each department, that you feel that you can trust, or that you feel confident that you can tell them something and they're not going to put you out on blast, right? You can tell them, pass that information on. The way that this thing works, or the way that it should work, if we in law enforcement are doing what we're supposed to do, anytime that anybody gives us information, the correct thing to do is not to just act on that information that you got, but you've got to verify that. And you have to pick up that ball and say, thank you so much for giving me that information. I'm going to take it and I'm going to follow up on it. You are out of it at that point.
But see, I didn't say I knew the person. I said,
No, not specifically you.
Yeah,
I was just using that.
I'm about saying that what we have a realm of, so you don't know they did it, but we have an idea that it could have something after they do this.
I'm sorry.
I said, what if we have a realm? Not that I know, but what if we have an idea that it's possible to have something to do with something? I mean, you don't know, but you just got an idea.
Okay, so the question is, if you have an idea that somebody did something.
Yeah.
That works the same way. All you need to do is you can contact your law enforcement. Again, you may not feel comfortable going with talking to Officer A, but you might have a relationship with Officer B. So you go to Officer B, you pass that information on and say, I don't know, but I believe. At that point, you're out of it. Law enforcement, that's why we are law enforcement. We are supposed to go out and investigate. So we don't just take that because you believe somebody did something. We go, things that we can do, techniques, surveillance that we can conduct to try to either corroborate or prove that the information that has actually happened, or disprove it, to discount it, to say, no, that's not true. So anytime anybody has any information about anything, pass it on to law enforcement. They'll keep your name out of it, and you hold us accountable. You hold law enforcement accountable for making sure that they do their job. And part of that is you give us the information, we'll take the ball, we'll run with it, and you're out of it.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
Okay, James, hope you had to answer your question. Anybody else? You young folks, I know y'all got something to say. I'm going to put somebody on. Young folks, that y'all get something from this. It's not nothing to put y'all down, it's something to lift y'all up and let y'all know if you didn't understand, like Ms. Walters does not say it, and the officer said too. Like Officer Johnson said, if you all ride in a car together and somebody got a gun, the gun belongs to all y'all. And another thing too, right? The guy's not up here, I'm not gonna call his name, he was a young guy, he came out of school about 2 years after I did. He was in a car with some guys. He was in the car asleep. They went in the store to rob the store. Guess what? Guess who went to jail? All of them went to jail. You know what that calls? The hand of one is what? The hand of what? Oh.
Yeah, that's true, sir.
Yeah, so if your friend go in the store and steal something so simple, you all can get in the same trouble. So be mindful of your company and stuff like that.
Sir, 1 minute, one question, sir. Everybody, if they got a license pistol, they can carry with them, with the bullets out, to protect themselves. Because if I got one, I wouldn't get them locked up.
So at this time, nobody don't have any questions. I mean, I got one of my best friends, like me and this young man here, we went to high school together, we grew up together, we got in trouble together, we did a lot of stuff. And I'm gonna let him tell you about his life story, but where God has changed him, where he at today. So at this time, I'm gonna let Officer Bill Thomas, Reverend Thomas, come up and speak for a minute.
How's everybody? I said, how's everybody? No, I heard y'all louder than that last night. I said, how's everybody? All right, all right, all right. All right, as he said, I am Phil Thomas. I grew up right in that house right there. Matter of fact, I had flashbacks when I was walking over here. Shelton used to be right here. Amen. So, basically, I just want to talk about decisions. Decisions. our life is based on decisions. And I will say this, I know, because I'm raising children, I know that children have to have a strong home foundation. They need to be raised in the home. It starts in the home. But I am a living witness that you can be raised in a good home. Your family can tell you the right thing to do and the right thing not to do. And just like me, went to church on Sunday, sang on the choir, and still end up in the back seat with these fellas right here. And it came down to a decision I made. Our destiny is based on the decisions you make. Whether you reach your destiny or not is based on your decision. And there's a scripture that says, before you were formed in your mother's womb, God gave you a destiny. And if you're going to reach that destiny, you have to make the right decision. You have to make the right decisions. I'll tell you something so eerie. I grew up there with my mom, my grandparents, and so I wasn't around my dad really very often. But after I got grown, right before me and my wife was getting ready to get married, me and my dad reconnected. And so one day we were sitting down and we was talking, and he was telling me about his life. And it was almost eerie because he was telling me about the things he went through, and some of the same things that he did, I did. He told me about his first car. His first car and my first car was the same car. He wrecked his, I wrecked mine. And so as he began to tell me about his life, I realized that if I would have stayed on the same path and was making the same decision that he was making, I would have ended up in the same place he was. But because one day I made a decision that I was going to change what I was doing. Matter of fact, when I left out of the back seat with some fellas just like these fellas right here, I made a decision that I was going to get on a different path. My life changed because I changed my decision. And so there's another scripture that says, with every temptation, the Lord makes a way of escape. And I had heard that before, but one day I just stopped and thought about it. They said, with every temptation, the Lord makes a way of escape. So in other words, with everything we face, every negative thing we face, there's another decision. And everybody out here, I know you know that's true, because but the sad thing about it, most times we think about the way of escape after the fact. We say, if I would have made this, if I would have. And so with every temptation, there is a way of escape. And so which means there are two decisions with everything you face: a good decision and a bad decision. And so regardless of where, if there's somebody doing 25 to life, they're there because of a decision. If there's somebody who's experiencing great success right now, they're there because they made a good decision. So in essence, we all have to be aware of our decisions. And I think one of these guys said it, the first thing we need to do to make good decisions, we need to assess all the information. You need to assess all the information. Yeah. First of all, many times we make mistakes because we just make a decision willy-nilly. But you need to understand and weigh the consequences of the decision that you're getting ready to make. Not only do you need to weigh those decisions, you need to think about somebody else who made the same decision that you're getting ready to make. You can learn from somebody else's decision. Many times I use as an example, if Jim is coming from down the road and he's soaking wet and he says the bridge is out, I believe you can learn from Jim that you don't have to go down there and fall in the same river he fell in. You can learn from his mistake. There's also something that I hear all the time that drives me crazy. I hear people say, you know, Jack left Blackville and he's doing well now. When Jack left Blackville, he went to Atlanta, he's doing good. If he never went to Atlanta, he would have never done good. That's the biggest lie ever been told. What happened was, Jack was doing bad in Blackville. Jack left Blackville, went to Atlanta. Atlanta forced Jack to make some decisions that he wasn't making in Blackville. And when he got to that new environment that forced him to make some new decisions, Jack started doing better. But if Jack would have made them same decisions in Blackville, Jack could have got better in Blackville. I know that's true because I was in Jack's shoes. Yeah, I made some of the worst decisions in my life between the age of 18 and 28. And right here in Blackville, my life changed. I didn't have to go anywhere. All I did was change my decisions. And so right now, I just beseech you to weigh every decision that you make, because I heard somebody else say it. One decision can change your entire life. One bad decision can change your entire life. Thank you.
I'd like to thank Phil Thomas for coming up and speaking. Like I said, me and him best of friends. And y'all didn't know he a pastor now. And he left out a lot of stuff about growing up now. If you know his background, you never believe where he's at today and stuff like that, you know. We did some things we not pleased the other day, but guess what? God watched out for us. Like you said, the decision we made once we got realized, you know, that, hey, we don't need to go down this road. We need to go another way and stuff like that. You kids gonna make some mistakes in life. You're gonna go down the wrong road, but always know how to come back the right way. And at this time, somebody said, what's her name? I'm like taking this to speak. She got a story that I want all of you young kids to listen to, this story that she's about to tell and stuff.
Hello, everyone. I just came here, but he said the choices that you make in life determine your destination. I am a parent. 11 years ago, my life was changed because somebody took my son's life of a decision that he made to go hang out with the wrong people and got shot by a straight bullet. It wasn't even meant for him. And he died. His whole life was gone. My life was changed forever. And I'm just telling each one of you kids today, like he said, decisions. You don't have to be bad or you don't have to be tough to just walk away from a decision that someone else is making for you, or you trying to be bad for the next person. Make good choices in life. Don't change your parents' life like my life was changed. From a bad decision that my son wanted to be bad, to hang with the wrong people, and it cost him his life. Thank you.
Thank you for that heartwarming message. Young kids, hopefully y'all pay attention to what she just not said and stuff like that. Like I'm gonna say, I like that you kids came out, but I wish some more of your parents would have came out and stuff like that. That makes a difference and stuff like that. And like Officer Bamberg had said earlier, right? We can't talk to our kids the same way we talk to adults and stuff like that, you know. And then sometimes, I had to learn this too. Sometimes we have to listen to our children and stuff. That's a lot of times parents don't listen to their children, what they have to say. They tell them, oh, you go and sit to the side and stuff like that. That's how I was raised up. But you have to listen and stuff like that. Because sometimes you children, y'all know what y'all talking about and stuff like that. But we adults got to listen. And another narrative that the world tell us too, right? And I'm going to pick it back up this, right? The world tell us that if you came from a single parent home, that you ain't going to be nothing in life. That is far from the truth, because all my friends basically came from a single parent home. Reverend Thomas came from a single parent home. My friend Earl Nix came from a single parent home. And they came from single mother's home. But guess where I came from? I come from a single father's home. My mom got killed in a car accident when I was 7 years old and stuff. I don't think I made some mistakes in life, but I don't think I turned out too bad. So don't let the narrative, the world narrative telling you how you came up with a single parent, that you're going to be bad, you ain't going to be nothing in life. It's all about the decision and choice that you make, the thing that you want out of life. And you know what? And nobody can hold you back. Nobody can stop you. Adonis, if you want to be a lawyer, you know the only person that can stop you? You is the only person that can stop. Nobody else can ever stop you. Because you got to be determined. You said that there could be roadblocks in the way, but nobody can stop you, no matter what. Little Sean, If you want to be a doctor, nobody can stop it. Nobody. Nothing. What do y'all young folks want to be in life? What do y'all want to do in life? It ain't all about it's having a good time and being in the streets. That's okay. But then after a while, you got to make decisions. What you want to do? What you want? Man, like I said, we just here to help y'all, encourage y'all. Keep you out of that trouble. It's easy, man. Easy to get into, but hard to get out. Hard. Anybody else got anything? Everybody speak at once. Everybody got anything they want to say? Anything they want to add on to it? So young folks, is there anything that we can do as adults to help y'all out, to speak in the right way, to help you along the journey and stuff like that? Anything that we can do. Don, there's something on your mind. I look at you, little smile. Something on your mind. What you doing? I said, what's that? Okay, you got some kids say support. That's like these kids say they play Friday night football, right? The dogs, you don't have to have nobody there playing football to support these kids. It look good when you look up in the stand, you see a bunch of people in the stand. That feel good as a fella. Yeah, support them. Don't only support them during the good time and also during the bad time and stuff like that. Just support them and stuff like that. That makes them they really love you all and stuff. Love y'all. And they got a game Friday night. I think they go to Southside Christian. That game is in Greenville, South Carolina, right? We need to be here to cheer these children on and stuff. To cheer them on and stuff, you know. And I'm going to say this right here, and I ain't put myself on the spot, but if any adults need to go to Greenville, and if you don't have no gas money, I'll fill your car up and go to Greenville to support these children. Support these children and stuff like that. We got to start supporting them. We can't sit here and talk bad about them, but not trying to help them. Not trying to help them, you know. What y'all want out of it? Tell us what y'all want from us. I know y'all ain't quiet. Sam, I know you're quiet. Oh, no, that's just you close, so that's Sam. Yeah, y'all got anything y'all want to say? I'm trying to get y'all interactive and learn how to speak in public and talk and stuff like that. You got one of them. Stand right there. All right, they by each other. Stand and talk. They got their own sense. Freddie, I'm tell you something about Freddie. Freddie been coaching these little kids ever since they were little, taking the time out of his schedule, not even getting paid, volunteering, do stuff to help these kids and stuff for them. Freddie been doing this. I've been knowing Freddie, he's a little older, but I've been knowing Freddie all my life. And all my adult life, I've been knowing Freddie helping the youth doing youth football.
Well, I ain't got too much to say, but I hope y'all kids do better than life. Self-street. That's why I was out there trying to help y'all stay off the street. That was my priority. I had nothing to do. All I had to do was stay home. I don't care about y'all, but I care and love y'all. That's why I got to say to y'all.
Anybody else? I'm trying to give time to all the food get done because we want to feed y'all. Bring up the food.
Hello, everyone. I know y'all know me from Miss Nix. I work at the Creative Artistic Barber Shop downtown. All my fellas, woo-hoo, hey, how y'all doing? I just want to say that cutting hair is not just cutting hair. You know, I'm a barber stylist. And I have an opportunity to talk to these young men right in their ear as I'm cutting their hair. And I want one young man to come up here right now. He's going to get mad at me, JP. But come on, JP. Stand by me, JP. I talked to him and he told me he wanted to be, what did you want to be, JP? What did you want to do? When you grew up? He told me he wanted to be a therapist. And I said, okay, are you doing anything to become a therapist? Are you Googling it? Are you looking at it? And he's like, no. I said, so how do you become a therapist? I said, but you know, you can become a therapist, but you can also be a barber. Barbers are good therapists. Everybody comes and tell us everything in the chair, which I keep it confidential. So JP has been coming to me for the last couple of months, and I've been mentoring him how to cut hair. He calls, he said, Miss Nix, can I come this week? And I said, yeah, sure, come on, you know. Him and Keandre. Keandre came a few times, but he's been having football practice. But this young man, he listens. He's trying to do something, and it takes some time to learn how to cut hair. But he's very attentive. And he doesn't play basketball. He's a tall young man. He said he doesn't like playing basketball. So sometimes sports is not everything to kids, basketball, football, but it's a good thing to keep you, in a group setting and learn about one another and how to become better in life. And that's what your coaches do. They're another parent in your life. But, I think, JP, like I said, all of us can be ministers and mentors to these young men. And it takes a village, like they say, it takes a village to raise these young men. I have 2 boys and 3 girls, and we have to talk to them all the time. And like I said, we do have 2 parents in the household. But the ones that don't have 2 parents in the household, it takes all of us to be a part of these children's lives. These are some awesome young men. And it's not just in this place, it's all over the world. Children are going through some things. So me being a barber stylist, I can talk to these young people, and we all can talk to them. And just let them know that we love them. We really do. And I just think JP, he's going to continue to be a good therapist as he learned about cutting hair and be able to talk to some of these young men out here in the world. And I just thank y'all, and if y'all ever need it, y'all know. Hey, guess what? Y'all win that game, y'all get some free haircuts, all right? All right? Let's do it. Amen. Amen.
See, they come from the younger folks. I said probably about 24, 25 years old. He's right about that. We got to give these young kids something to do and stuff like that. The town, we got to stop putting stuff for these kids something to do and stuff, because we know that it's really in Blackville, what is to do? Nothing. When there's nothing to do, you got out of town. When you got out of town, what do? You find trouble. The trouble can always find you. So, with that, we're going to work on that. We're going to start talking to the people in the town council, with some of them, seeing what they can do to put stuff back into the community. And young folks, you all going to have to leave Blackville right now to find a career, to find a job, right? But never forget where your home is at. And when you leave Blackville, don't go back talking junk about Blackville. Like a lot of people do now, Blackville is your home. Because I don't know nobody who retired. Anybody here know anybody retired and moved to New York? I know plenty of people that moved to New York, but they retired back down here. So, not here. So at this time, if nobody's got anything they want to say, we got some food on the inside, so y'all can line up. Y'all can line up and get y'all something to eat and stuff like that. Hope y'all enjoy food and stuff like that. Pass this on to your teammate. Like I said, people support these kids this Friday night. Support them if you can and stuff like that. Cheer them on and stuff like that. So let's flood Greenville Saturday night Friday night to help these kids and stuff like that. To show them that we love you all. That's how come we put this video. We love you all and stuff like that. And like I said, I'm in a motorcycle club. We're not a gang. We're a club. We try to put back in the community. So everybody can just line up. Ladies first. Children first and ladies.
That's all us.
Come on, hey, y'all come on.
It's Carolina South. Carolina South. Every day is purple and orange, maroon and white. Tigers at day, cougars at night. It's Carolina South.